Are you waiting for your manifestation? Stop. Here's how to stop waiting for it and have it right away. And I know you're going to hear what I'm about to say, and it might be upsetting, but trust, just listen to what I have to say. So when we are waiting for our manifestation, we are putting ourselves in a state of consciousness of waiting for something that we do not have. So that state of consciousness says, I am not budging until I get this thing that I do not have. It is not in alignment with me, and I am going to stay in this misalignment because I am in a waiting energy, and so I will perpetuate that until I am ready to move forward. Now, our external reality is a result of our internal state. All of it. Yes, all of it is a result of our internal state. Nothing out there is just happening to come before your internal state. It is coming from your internal state, whether it's a 1% of your internal state or 100% of your internal state. It is coming from your subconscious creations. So it doesn't make sense that we would create something new by looking at our old undesirable circumstances. We would just be creating more of that, maybe in new ways, but we would be creating the same feelings. So we need to shift our state of consciousness into feeling the way that we want to feel. So maybe, you have a breakup with somebody, maybe you're on the rocks, you've got a uncomfortable situation going with a friend, something weird happened at work, you've got undesirable circumstances. A lot of us jump to the how when it comes to, like how we're going to get the feeling that we want. But follow the immediate thing. So whatever you think that fix is, follow that to what the feeling is that you want to feel. Do you want to feel more respected? Do you want to make more money? Do you want to feel more financially secure? Do you want to feel more connected and loved and appreciated by your friends and family and loved ones? Like, what is the feeling that you want to have, and align yourself with that feeling. My videos about Neville Goddard and the states of consciousness probably will explain this best, about how to get into the state of having your desire. So I would definitely go check those out, because I'm not going to get too into it in this video. Now, so you're in the state of having the thing that you want, and you're like, okay, where is it? Where's the text message? Where's the phone call? Where's the new car? Where's the job offer? Where is it, Alex? No, it's still like just out of reach if you are waiting, because you are kind of holding your reality hostage. You are saying, I really want this thing, but like, I'm not going to be grateful and in alignment with it until I get it. And that just doesn't make sense. I think it kind of makes sense to us, but there's still a lack somewhere in there. And so we need to like dive within and find out, affirm, I am worthy, I am safe to have this thing, see what comes up for you, move through those feelings, and come into the state of knowing that it's done. I saw this amazing video on TikTok. This man described this perfectly. He said, if somebody handed you like $1 million check because you won, lottery or something, you go to your bank and they say, wow, congratulations, but like, just so you know, this is going to take like 10 business days to process because this is a lot. You'd be like, okay, word. And then you would go about those 10 days or however long it took, because you know that you're a millionaire, right? Now, how we delay those things actually coming through and finalizing, even if they're in the process, that's a whole other story, because I'm about to share an example that I went through with this. I did not win $1 million, but for those of you who follow my channel, you know that I was in a car accident earlier this year, and my car was deemed a total loss. So there was a payout for it, and I learned that I would be like, because of the status of my loan versus the value of my car, I was going to be receiving some money myself, like as a net, I don't know what you call it, in the payout. I was going to come out ahead. So I had ideas of how I wanted to do that, and one thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to purchase some different concert tickets. Now there was one concert in particular, and tickets were like $65 with fees. And I was like, oh, but I don't have the money yet, so I can't spend $50 that's outside my budget. I can't put it on a credit card. I can't let it, come out of my $50 come out of my savings. Like, I need to just wait, because I had gone back into a state of not being in alignment with that and feeling that maybe I wasn't worthy of it. It was like a whole thing. I went through a lot with the accident that I was in, and it was very productive for me. But I was in a lack state again, and so I was too afraid to spend the money that I should have known I had. Because from the outside, you might be like, well, Alex, if your car was deemed a total loss, of course insurance is going to pay for it. I was in such a lack state, I was afraid that somehow it just wasn't going to happen for me. Like, I was going to be the first person ever. It wasn't going to happen for me. It is what it is. I worked through it. But I was not going around feeling like that version of me. And so, of course, the payment got delayed. There was all kinds of crazy stuff. And I was aligning with circumstances and interactions and an experience that was making me feel like, yeah, you really don't deserve it. And I actually had to shift into a state of being like, no, this is crazy. I deserve this, and I don't deserve the way that, my experience has been going. And I really found my backbone, and I stood up for myself. And it was really an opportunity for me to practice that. And so all of a sudden, once I decided to stop waiting and feel, no, like, I am the person that has the payout. I am the person that, my car was paid off because it's owed to me. My car is totaled. It's owed to me. All of a sudden I started taking aligned action with that. I started being very firm with the people I was interacting with that they needed to honor my time and my energy in this process. And before, I just wasn't, because I was approaching the situation like, maybe I didn't deserve this, and maybe I should just like be careful because, like, I'm lucky that I'm getting anything at all. And I was like, no. So I shifted my self-worth. I started showing up to the situation differently. Things started moving and finally finalized. And I received the money. Now I went to go buy the concert ticket, and then the concert had sold out. And I didn't want to go badly enough that I was willing to buy the scalper prices. But I just knew, and this is like a fun bonus, I just knew that I would, because I was willing to pay the original price, and that I believed that I could go to this concert, if it was in alignment, that would happen for me. And I just let it go. And then like a week before the concert, my friend posts on Facebook that she's selling her ticket. And I text her, and she's like, I'll just give it to you for what I paid for it. You don't have to pay me any extra. And so I sent her the money, and she sent me the ticket, and I went to the concert, and I paid exactly what I wanted to pay. So that's a fun little story. But again, from the outside, I hope I explained it in a way that was clear to understand, because from the outside, it's like, yeah, if someone won the lottery and they took the check to go get cashed, of course they would know that money is coming. Yeah, Alex, your car was totaled and everyone involved had insurance. Of course you're going to get paid out. My state of lack, my insecurity that I was somehow, my insecurity, we'll just leave it that way. Gonna go down that rabbit hole. The insecurities I had at the time, the level of worth that I had at the time, had me convinced that maybe there was really a chance that I would not, or that the way that the outcome would somehow put me at a disadvantage, when in fact it was so much more than that, thankfully, because when I aligned with, I guess, manifesting this situation, I was in that higher state, and then kind of got triggered and had to go, down through the waves of bringing myself back up to that place. So it can be easy to look at these situations and be like, well, yeah, of course. But then you find yourself in a waiting energy. I think it specifically or especially comes with relationships or even jobs. Well, I'm just waiting on my boss to give me that raise. Like, I know that I deserve the raise, but like, I'm just stuck here. The way that I am and the behavior that I am, the way that I show up to work is not going to change until I get that raise. Show up as a new version of yourself. I'm not saying go buy a new wardrobe. Maybe invest in your wardrobe a little bit if that's one of the changes. Within your means, start taking steps to being that new you. Do not wait for your reality to shift. You are the thing creating your reality. If you wait for your reality shift, it's never going to shift. Your internal shift has to happen first. Your internal shift has to happen first. Your internal shift has to happen first. Do you guys get it? Your internal shift has to happen first. And when it comes to relationships, I talked about this in my last video where like I would get stuck in my head where if I want to shift into, because you guys know, the struggle. No, I don't want to label it as a struggle. You guys know that I have been working on healing undesirable patterns in specifically romantic connections, but in my relationships in general. And I feel like I've really mastered things with my family and my friends, and romantic relationships are just kind of like that last little thing that I'm working on for right now. I'm sure, there's always more work to be done, but anyway. So I'm going to give the example of, a romantic relationship because as I said in my last video, I felt that I realized that I was kind of getting stuck romanticizing the undesirable circumstances. And it's like I was shifting into this new state of someone that doesn't align with those behaviors and that type of treatment and that experience in general. But what I thought was like me loving unconditionally was really me romanticizing and afraid of setting those boundaries with a person in my reality. And it's like, no, then I'm not really this person. If I am still not setting boundaries or withdrawing my energy from something that doesn't deserve my energy and setting boundaries, then I am not this new version of me. I am still this old version of me. And maybe half of my consciousness is, in this new version, but there's still a piece of me that's back here. And typically when you start to kind of get stuck, you'll feel anxiety pushing you one way or the other. And if you follow that, not necessarily react to it, but if you follow that and explore that, you're going to come out the other side. But what I was doing sometimes would be I would think I was practicing patience, but I was really ignoring myself. I was really ignoring feeling negatively. And, I have a few videos about how positivity is not the thing that manifests. Because if you're manifesting a new job or a promotion or a romantic partner or a best friend, those things, those people, those relationships, you want them to be there for you for better or worse. Unless, of course, you have beliefs that you don't deserve that. Can't relate. Then that would be something that you work on. But anyway, I'm about to wrap this up. But yeah, okay. So, say that you want communication from a specific person, or, I don't like to fixate on one person. I have whole videos, probably multiple videos about that. I like to focus on what I would like in a relationship and just let the universe bring it to me in the best way possible, so that there's no more delays than necessary because maybe I'm fixating on something. So you would want to get into that state and say that, you desire, you're like I'm in this state and like I just really can't wait for Marshall to call me up and confess his love for me or ask me how my day went. Go imagine that it happened, and then it's like I want to say don't be upset that it didn't happen, but if you feel yourself being upset that these things aren't actually happening, then there's more self-work that you need to do. Because I think it's really easy to say, oh, just don't do that, but it's like, okay, Alex, but like I do feel that way, and how do I get there? And if you feel that, let me know in the comments, and I will gather my thoughts into the basket of kittens that they are, and I will make a video about that because that's something I relate to. It's like I thought I was following people's techniques and methods, and I didn't realize that I was, missing these steps because I didn't know how to get rid of that piece of me that was feeling that way. So that's important, that when you do not have to wait, and you should not wait for your manifestation. So don't fixate, don't not live your life because the romantic partner hasn't come in yet or the job hasn't quite shifted yet. I mean, obviously act responsibly in your reality. I'm not saying to like go crazy with your credit cards or anything, but embody that energy and embody the feelings that you want to feel that would come with having the promotion, that would come with having the increased income, that would come with having a specific amount of money in your savings account, or getting approved for that new house, or living in the new house, or, you know, having that partner, having your partner propose to you, having your best friend invite you to, I don't know, whatever it is. Be that version of you. And this is where it can get tricky, and I talk about it in the Neville videos, but like, you want to be that version of you that has those feelings without needing the means of getting there. So if you're the person that got proposed to, you want to feel that energy of whatever that means for you, whatever that means of being in that next level of your relationship, of being in that level of commitment, of feeling that next level of security, whatever it is, deepen that within yourself, and your reality is going to follow. That doesn't mean if you're like, well, I'm not going to move in with someone until they propose to me. If that's like a rule you have, then obviously you don't, like, you're like, oh, but I'm in the state of consciousness, so I'm gonna move in with them because in my brain he proposed. No, you don't have to do that. You want to show up to your reality in an appropriate way, in a way that feels natural, and start taking the little inspired action that you feel. And inspired action feels inspired. It doesn't feel like you're trying to manipulate a situation. That's the difference. Okay, so I could go on about this forever, and like I low-key want to, but again, do not wait. Do not wait to have the thing you want. Use your imagination to make yourself feel that way. I shared in one of my previous videos that I didn't get to, our family didn't go on our normal beach trip this year. So sad. I really wanted to go to that beach. I really wanted, and I was like, oh, maybe I can manifest going to that beach. And then I realized, like, that'd kind of be a pain. I don't really want to. What I really want is these specific feelings and these specific experiences. And I ended up having them naturally because I kept putting myself in that state. Every time I went to the pool, there was nobody else there. And I would just listen to fancy classical music on my headphones, and it felt like I was at a spa, and, you know, etc. I wanted the feeling, and I didn't wait for if this beach trip was going to happen or not. I was like, well, you know, I want that, so I'm going to go to the pool, and oh look, wow, there's nobody here, and it's like the perfect day. It feels just like the beach that I want to be on. Anyway, don't wait. Focus your energy on the things that version of you would focus their energy on. It's okay that the one thing isn't in your reality yet. Create change where you can as it comes in. Focus your energy where it can naturally flow. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I could talk about this forever. If there's something I didn't talk about, or there's a totally different thing that you would like me to talk about, let me know in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. I love hearing from you guys. And thanks. I'll see you in the next video.